Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what meals we had this past week. Our dinners were easy to make, budget friendly, and delicious. So if you're looking for some weeknight meal ideas for your family, just keep watching. This first night, my mom and I were still in Kentucky, so we decided to go out to a restaurant called Colton's Steakhouse. I know they're a chain. I know they have a couple or a few locations in Kentucky. I'm not sure where else. One thing that I like about there is they bring the buckets of peanuts out. I know like Texas Roadhouse and Logan's used to do that, but back during the pandemic, a lot of places stopped, but they do it. So I love snacking on those. And then they bring out yummy yeast rolls and butter. And then for our entrees, I got a Hawaiian ribeye, which usually I'm not a big ribeye fan. I love the flavor, but there's a lot of fat and gristle in it. So normally I go for a strip steak, but I was intrigued by the Hawaiian seasoning and grilled pineapple. So I got that with a baked sweet potato and a side salad. And then my mom got a New York strip steak with a baked potato and a salad with ranch as well. And our eyes were bigger than our stomachs. Both of us ate less than half of our steaks, and mom ended up taking them home for dad and the kids to eat on. But yeah, that was dinner for this night. So the next day we drove back home from Kentucky, and in a town called Scottsville, Kentucky, it is maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Nashville. There is an Amish community there. They have a place called Habegger's Amish Market that we love to go into. And then they also have a couple other markets. Like there's one Amish bakery, and I mean like they're legit. They don't have power or air conditioning or anything. And they have produce. And then you can like drive through the back roads in the Amish communities, and they families will just sell produce at the end of their driveway. And then there's another little store back there. So if you're kind of in the Nashville area or like the South Central Kentucky region, I recommend going through there. It's really just kind of nice to see how other communities live, and also to get some yummy baked goods and produce. But we try to always stop there because Gary loves the German bologna. And so for dinner this night, kept it just super simple. I'm going to do just bologna sandwiches. So here's what I've got. First up, I've got some of their sourdough bread. I always pick this up whenever I'm at Habegger's. And then I've got some lettuce. I got a fresh tomato there, some pepper jack cheese, and bologna. And we like ours sliced super, super thick. And then I've got some mayonnaise, mustard, and pickles. And I forgot to mention, but at Habegger's, they have a deli there, so you can get sandwiches however you want them. And then they've got like macaroni salad, potato salad, all kinds of goodies. And their sandwiches, I don't know what they do to them, but they are so delicious, and they've got ice cream and everything. So like I said, it's just a fun little day trip if you're in that area to go there, grab some ice cream, a yummy sandwich, drive through the countryside. It is gorgeous. Anywho, I digress. So I just made our sandwiches. I like mine super, super simple, just bologna, little mustard, sliced tomato, and then I love Doritos with a bologna sandwich. Don't know why that combo, but it's my favorite. And then for Gary, he's got lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, mustard, pickles, and then he had some Cape Cod kettle chips on the side. And this was a delicious and easy dinner. Dinner the next night I filmed as part of a July 4th themed What's for Dinner video that went up a couple days ago. I will link it in the description box below for you. I basically made just some gussied up pigs in a blanket to look like sparklers, and then a pimento cheese macaroni salad, as well as a spinach and berry salad, and then some vanilla pudding mix cookies. And yeah, that was our dinner this night. For dinner the next night, I apologize, I did not get a picture, but we just had leftovers. We both just raided the fridge and ate whatever we could find and what sounded good to us. I had some of that Amish sourdough bread, as well as some of the tomatoes that I got from the Amish. And so, y'all, I had to make a BLT. You just have to. When you have ripe, delicious tomatoes, you got to have a tomato sandwich or a BLT. So here's what I'm going to use to make the BLTs tonight. For the bacon, I have some Wright bacon, and then I have the bread and tomatoes I mentioned. I've got some mayonnaise, lettuce, and then I mentioned this before on my channel, but in case you're new, we like to add just a touch of barbecue sauce to our BLTs, which I know that might sound odd, but trust me, the smokiness with the barbecue sauce and the slightly sweetness goes so well with the bacon. So what I like to do is I do not cook bacon on top of the stove. It gets everywhere. It drives me crazy. So I bake it, but if you want to cook it on top of the stove, you cook it on the top of the stove. I just lay them out on cookie sheets. I used to put them on a wire rack, but one night I didn't really notice the difference. So you can use a wire rack or not, but I pop them into a cold oven, and then I turn the oven on to 400 degrees, and then I bake it from anywhere to maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It really just depends on how thick the bacon is and how you like your bacon. Once it comes out, I drain it on paper towels. I'm keeping this side super simple tonight. I had these onion petals from Farm Rich in my freezer that I needed to use up. I found these at Walmart, but I've also seen them at Publix and I believe Kroger. And then to go along with it, I have this Sweet Baby Ray's Secret Sauce. This sauce tastes pretty similar to the sauce that Outback serves with their bloomin' onion. It's not exactly like it, but it's pretty close. I'm going to cook the onion petals in the air fryer according to the package instructions. Now I'm going to assemble the sandwiches, and it may not look like it on camera, but those top two pieces of bread are toasted. Gary prefers his toasted. I prefer my BLTs untoasted. Gary likes more mayonnaise than I do. I like just barely enough mayonnaise to just slightly cover the bread. So I'm going to spread the mayonnaise out, and then like I said, I like to add just a little bit of barbecue sauce, spread that out. Next, I'm going to add the lettuce, and to be honest, a lot of the times I leave the lettuce off of my sandwich. I just prefer a bacon tomato sandwich, but today the lettuce sounded good. Next up, I'm going to add a couple slices of those yummy tomatoes and then season the tomatoes with a little bit of salt and pepper. I know some people like to add mustard to their BLT. Some people like to add cheese. Some people like to add on avocado. We've done that before. It's yummy. So I'm going to add on my bacon, and then that's it. The BLTs are done. So here are the plates. We've got our sandwiches, those onion petals, and that sauce. And I know I keep saying this, but again, another quick and easy but delicious dinner. Sometimes the simple things like just a BLT sandwich or just a tomato sandwich, or pigs in a blanket, or, something quick and easy like a bologna sandwich. Sometimes it just totally hits the spot. For dinner the next night, we were doing a little date night, and Gary wanted barbecue, so we decided to order from a place called Edley's Barbecue. We were out running errands and happened to be near one, and we've been wanting to try it. So we both got their pulled pork sandwiches, and then for the sides, Gary got the potato salad and their bean salad. I got their macaroni and cheese and banana pudding, and we really liked it. This was really good. I know they have several different locations, a few in the Nashville area. I'm not sure if they're outside of Nashville, but yeah, it was a yummy dinner, and we had a nice time together just eating and then watching some TV shows that we were getting caught up on. For dinner the next night, I made Greek turkey burgers. I have shared this before on my channel, but I wanted to share it again because these are delicious. They are so yummy. Of course, the recipe will be linked in the description box below for you. Here, I've got a pound of ground turkey. You could also use chicken or beef. I'm going to add in some dried oregano, followed by garlic powder, some smoked paprika, and then salt and pepper. Now, normally turkey burgers I'm not a big fan of. Normally they're dry and they have like zero flavor at all. But these burgers are so juicy and flavorful. So if you're not a big turkey burger fan, don't let that sway you from this recipe. These are so good. Now I'm going to add in some crumbled feta cheese. And then I have some roasted red peppers. These are just jarred. You do want to drain the liquid off of them and then let them sit on some paper towels and try to press out as much of the moisture as you can. And then I gave those a chop. Now I'm going to add in some grated onion. And I also added in just a tiny little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. The recipe doesn't say to do that, but like I said, with turkey burgers, they can become really, really dry. So I add just a little drizzle to help keep them juicy. So I'm going to give that a really good mix until everything's well incorporated. And then I like to just kind of flatten out the meat in the bowl and squirt with my hands into about 4 sections because I'm making 4 patties. And these are pretty sticky. So what I like to do is spray a plate with a little cooking spray, add my burgers there, and then I pop them into the refrigerator for just like about 5 minutes, just helps them hold together. So in this skillet here, this is over about medium-high heat. I've got some oil that's heated up. I'm going to cook these patties for maybe about 5 to 7 minutes or so per side. Really kind of just depends on how thick your patties are, but because these are poultry, you do want to make sure you cook them all the way through, so the internal temperature needs to read at least 165 degrees. And then once you're there, I'm going to pull them out and put them, this is on a clean plate by the way, and allow them to sit while I assemble the sandwiches. Now to assemble these, you can use whatever hamburger buns you want to use. I'm using these potato rolls. One time I made these and I used like little mini pita breads, and that was really good. So I'm going to add the hamburger patty, or not the hamburger patty, the turkey patty to the bun, add on some lettuce, sliced tomatoes, add a touch of salt to the tomatoes. Always try to season the tomatoes. Some tzatziki sauce, and I'm just using the boar's head. You could use your favorite brand or, make some homemade. The recipe includes a quick tzatziki sauce that you can serve on the burgers if you want to do that, but I just use the store-bought to keep it easy. You could also add some arugula to this. You could add some sliced cucumbers or red onion, but this is the way I like to eat these, and Gary prefers it this way as well. Now to go along with this, I'm going to make some Greek potato wedges. Again, the recipe will be linked down below. I've got some red potatoes that I washed, and then I just cut into wedges. I'm going to add them to a bowl. I added some extra virgin olive oil followed by salt and pepper. I'm going to add some dried oregano, garlic powder, paprika, and dried rosemary. Now, like I said, the recipe will be linked down below. I've made this several times. I just eyeball the seasonings now, but again, if you need exact measurements, those will be down below for you. So once I've added the seasonings, I'm going to give this a really, really good toss. And then you could deep fry these in theory, I guess. I normally cook them in the air fryer, but tonight I decided to cook them in the oven. So I'm going to place them onto a baking sheet and I'm going to spread them out, and I lay them with a cut side down on the baking sheet. I pop these into a 425-degree oven. I baked them for 20 minutes on one side, flipped them over, baked them for another 20 minutes until they were golden brown, crispy, and tender. Next, I'm going to add them to a bowl, and then we're going to add some fresh lemon zest. And I've mentioned before when I made these that the first time I was kind of like, lemon zest? I don't know about that, but it is delicious. It's so good. So after I add the zest, I give them a good toss, and then that's it. These are done, and these are so good. They have so much flavor. They're delicious. So here are the plates. We've got the Greek turkey burgers along with those potato wedges, and then I served some of the extra tzatziki on the side for dipping our potato wedges, and this is so good. All right, that is it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, that you got some dinner ideas from it. If you did like it, hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.